of, inviting you to understand the work which you're doing in your domain, which is very interesting to me. And I feel that there is a need of the hour to look at the subconscious level wellness, which is required to be delved deep into. Primarily, if you see the wellness industry in India, primarily it is preventive or curative in nature. And mostly it is more of a physical wellness which has been practiced so far. Okay. So my intention is to spread the awareness that there are wellness initiatives can be taken at the subconscious level as well. And the work you have done on the rapid transformational therapy and creatrix, PMDD and PMT is really commendable. I had been through your website and trust me, I'm very impressed. The work you have done and the lives of people which have affected so positively, Samala. So welcome to the show, Samala. Can I understand more about your work on the rapid transformational therapy? What is it all about?
The rapid transformational therapy is a unique type of hypnotherapy that was created by my teacher, Marissa Peer. And I was really fortunate to spend personal time with her for 2 weeks and study from her personally. And then I've done a lot of different courses and learnings throughout my life. So I brought my own touch into it and my own healing and things into it. So my sessions are quite long. They go for about 3 hours. So it's really in depth. So with traditional hypnotherapy, I think the sessions are about an hour. They may do regression, they may not, and you may get a recording at the end to listen to, and you might not. And this type of hypnosis is a combination therapy. So there's psychotherapy in there, cognitive behavioral therapy, NLP, and the hypnosis, and also some sort of Gestalt parts therapy as well. So we're doing a lot in there. So it's so comprehensive that the idea is that you only need 1 session, maybe 3 per issue. So, but I've never had anyone come back for the same issue for the session. If they come back to me in a few months or 6 months or even a year, it's for something completely different. So, I mean, possibly for weight loss, I would suggest things like weight loss. I would definitely suggest 3 sessions because I feel like you need a little bit more motivation, and you would do like sugar or fatty foods addiction. That would be 1 session, and then you'd do a session on feeling good enough and lovable. Then you'd do a session on motivation. So that would be like a weight loss thing. But generally I have people come to me because they want to feel more confident, self-worth, lovable, enough. That's pretty much, we all want that. It's really pretty much a core issue for most people. Excellent. And it's pretty much in every session. Doesn't matter what they come to me for. Coming to me for, wanting to make more money, a fear of something, anxiety, depression, even, weight loss, smoking. There's always this confidence, a lack of confidence, not feeling good enough, not believing in themselves, wanting to be better, and also guilt and shame. As pretty much, I see that in all my sessions with people, they're carrying guilt and shame from the past. Mm-hmm. So the session starts off with hypnotherapy to relax them, which is really just like a nice meditation. Some people say, oh, you can't hypnotize me. And that's not true. Some people do go a lot deeper. Some people a bit lighter. And it's still the same session. So it doesn't really, depth of trance doesn't affect how well the session's going to go. It really is just nice to think of it as like a meditation. And so I get them in that nice meditative, relaxed state and tell them how suggestible their mind is, because we are highly suggestible. We take in words all the time. Right. We take in suggestions all the time. So that old saying, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's like not true. Words do hurt. They are very, very hurtful. And when we're children, we take in all that negative stuff, we absorb it. Yeah. Between the ages of 0 and 4, we're in a state of hypnosis because we have to learn really, really quickly. When you're in hypnosis, you learn very quickly. Mm-hmm. So the only way to really clear that stuff that happened in childhood is to go back into hypnosis. and there's the quick learning again. So, and when we're also a child, we don't have the top of it's like if you think of a house, you build the house and don't have the roof on yet. And so we're just absorbing all the negative stuff as well as the positive stuff, learning to talk and walk and all that great stuff, but also all the negative stuff. So yeah, so we're highly suggestible. We do some suggestibility tests at the beginning, and then we get into the session and we will go to the root cause of the issue. So if someone's coming to me for a fear of relationships or a fear of success or worry or anxiety, depression, we go to the root cause, and we don't just do one regression, we do 3. So we're doing one after the other. So you get to see a pattern of beliefs that you made, and it might be that one time when you were 3 and there you are, and your father's screaming at you and telling you that you're stupid. Yeah. And in that moment, you decided, well, I'm not good enough, I'm stupid. And we really get to feel it, see it, see all the beliefs. I'm like a hold space and guide people through and ask the right questions. It's very intuitive for me too. I intuitively ask the right questions. Then we put that to the side. We do another scene, and then we do some parts therapy. So we have a part in us that's either that we created as a child. It's like a little jigsaw piece of puzzle that we create as a child, and it's either to punish us or protect us, usually to protect, sometimes to punish. And that's that part, like it decides, well, that was a horrible experience, talking in front of school, in front of everyone laughing at me. That was a horrible experience, and I'm never, ever, ever going to do that again, because the mind likes to move us away from, towards pleasure and away from unpleasurable things. So I think, well, we're never going to do that again. So you get anxiety and all these things when you're older, when you're about to talk in front of people, you've got to step out into the world. Right. And so we get to talk to that part. So there's some parts therapy there, and that's really powerful. We get to talk to that part. And then we move into getting the client to really put the pieces together, and then some inner child healing, some inner child work. And there's some forgiveness work there as well, which I find really, really powerful, especially for people that have lost their parents, if they need to really let some stuff off their chest. It's called like dialoguing, and they're doing some real deep soul forgiveness. And they don't have to, nothing is, pressured. It's just all how it goes, if it flows that way and if they feel to. But they really feel it. It's like, you can say, often I have clients who say, yeah, I've forgiven you. And then I go, now let's do the forgiveness. And then they're like, yeah, now I really have, I really feel it. And that is just so freaking.
What age group of people come to you generally?
Sorry?
What
age group? I work with people, adults mostly, but I have had a couple of young girls come to me that were 15 with eating disorders. I have a 13-year-old girl coming next week for a fear of needles, but generally, I don't really have that many children come to me. If it was something that I think I could handle with a child, I'm happy, I would do it. You do with children under 10, you don't do regression. It's a shorter session, an hour. But yeah, children are pretty easy actually, because they're in that suggestible, they just take everything in.
And I feel that obviously, there are a lot of working population which also comes to you for this kind of healing.
Wanting to feel. Wanting to be more successful in their new business venture, not being fearful, wanting to make more money. I get a lot of women at the moment coming to me because they feel they can't find love, and then then they're not going out with the right kind of men, and they want to feel good and confident and have boundaries. So I get a lot of that, and then and then at the end of the session, we do a transformation. A reframe and then a transformation, and that is recorded. And we have a session before the session where we tune in intuitively to what they want. I go away and actually prepare this amazing recording for them, and then I add whatever else comes up. And this recording goes for about 20 minutes. I put some nice music behind it. That's sent to the client. They have to listen to that recording every day for a month, maybe even 2 months, and that rewires and recodes
Got it.
the neural pathways in the brain of how they can start thinking and feeling. Now puts in all the
Great.
new positive suggestions.
Great. I think this is something I think has not been, so much researched or delved into. And frankly, the work which I've seen from your website, and I think your consultations are online, right? All are on Zoom probably.
Mostly on Zoom. I have a couple of people that want to come. I have a nice chair here, but I have a couple of people come in person. Okay. But I seem to be quite popular on Instagram. So a lot of people are finding me from all over the world. I was on a podcast in America and then I had lots of Americans. So yeah, globally.
So
plus I want to travel in the future.
You're based in which city of Australia?
I'm based in I'm not in a city. No, I'm in the country. I'm in a little town, a beach town. Yeah.
Okay, beach town. Okay. That's great. I mean, yeah. And Samala, what about this creatrix part? Like, is that something related to rapid transformational therapy or it's something else?
Creatrix is different. Creatrix is only for women.
Okay.
It only works on a female brain.
Okay.
I don't exactly know why, but there's the lady who created it. It's a story, and all the things in the story are the way a female brains works, because men and women's brains are completely different. Men have lots of like compartments and drawers, and women have this crazy brain. So I think the equivalent for a man would be timeline therapy, but so Creatrix is not hypnotherapy. It's a sort of a combination of all sorts of things: hypnotherapy, NLP, timeline therapy, lots and lots of different stuff. But it works on clearing epigenetic beliefs and traumas. So it goes back to the very first ancestor that ever felt not good enough or hating this or not liking life. The very first person that ever felt that in your bloodline.
Right.
We clear it from the bloodline so that you never have it, and it's permanent and it never comes back. So together with the woman, we create an issues list, and she might have 30 issues on there, and we get clear on that together. And then it might take 1 session or up to 7 sessions to clear all those issues. And it's a 1-hour session, and it's going through a story, and she's not in the story. It's not about her. It's got nothing to do with her, because sometimes, when we're so angry and emotional, we can't think. So this is an inner wisdom gaining. And in the story, she gains all the wisdom from herself. And it's always like amazing. And that's it. It's really simple.
Great. I think, and what about PMDD and PMT? PMT and PMDD, how many people?
So PMDD is pre-mixed. Sorry?
These are related to women-centric issues, which are
it's women-centric. PMT is premenstrual tension, and PMDD is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is like really bad PMT. So they, women get really, really rageful and angry and depressed, and it's like really intense. Some people end up in the psych ward with it, or they have to take antidepressants, or and so the doctors say that there's no cure for that. And you need to get a hysterectomy or take antidepressants. And we're finding with hypnotherapy, with rapid transformational therapy, that it can be cleared, because what's happening is if they've got this sort of like box of pain that they're hiding, that's in there. And then once a month, when their hormones are heightened and when it all comes out. So we clear that box of pain, the cause of the rage, the root cause of the rage or the sadness or whatever's happening to them, that trigger. We clear that, and then they find that come before their menstrual cycle, it's not there. So and I've helped women in 1 session with that.
Is it a permanent cure, or is it a permanent cure with respect to PMDD and PMT?
It seems to be permanent so far. I mean, my clients are 1 year in and they're still good. One of them had 2 sessions, one of them 1 session. A couple have had 1.5 sessions. I do this other session in between. So they can have 1 session if they want to. They can have 1 session, and then 2 weeks later we do this 1 hour different sort of hypnotherapy, just to really kind of help them if they're having a bit of a wobble.
So PMDD and PMT starts with hypnotherapy, right? PMDD and PMT starts with hypnotherapy, the same process. The PMDD PMT process
it's the same process.
Same process.
Yeah.
Like
it's the same process.
Right.
yeah, I use the RTT for that, but I've just made a bit of a different package for it. So it's the one session,
Yeah,
and then the kind of the middle, there's a bit more of coaching. I'm actually creating a course with a naturopath coming up. So we're going to have a special course for women. And it will be my naturopath with all her wisdom, and then me taking through people through a guided session as well. So there'll be that's coming.
Great.
One day.
Great to be, getting in touch with you, first of all. Great to know the work you're doing and, affecting the lives of people so positively. And I think, a lot of Indian corporates who are seriously thinking of wellness, because in India, wellness industry is going to be around 875 billion Indian rupees, which is huge, as per the statement released by the government. And there are a lot of, after COVID also, there are a lot of consciousness among people, about the wellness part is concerned. But I think this area of wellness, which is related to subconscious, and the related behavior, which actually affects the people, and it down the line affects the entire work environment where the people goes for work, because it's the same person who is carrying something heavy with him at the workplace, and the same thing is being reflected in his or her behavior. So I think that can if corporate thinks seriously about that, I think that's the reason I wanted to make this video, to let people know that there are a lot of work to be done in wellness in the area of subconscious. I think you are doing a commendable job, Samala, and thank you so much for being
Thank you.
on the show. Thank you so much. Thanks.